All right. Good morning, Shauna.
Good morning.
It's great to see you. Thanks for making time to talk today.
Of course, so happy to.
Yeah, obviously we know each other through the Women's Growth Collab and just wanted to take some time and get to know you a little bit better and ask you a few questions, if that's all right.
Wonderful. So
Okay.
excited to be part of the group.
Oh, good, good. Thank you. Well, let's start with you introducing yourself and talking a little bit about your business and what you do.
Yes. Well, I am a second generation marketer entrepreneur. My company started right 4.5 years ago. But prior to that, I was the heir apparent to a marketing agency that my parents had started in the 90s. My mom was very well known in the technology industry in the 90s and during the dot-com boom. And that's when she got her start and her idea for her creative agency, helping them launch products in the technology sector, which I thought was very boring and wanted nothing to do with when I was growing up. So I actually went my own way and went into corporate merchandising for a few years, but found my way to where I am today, which is leading a creative agency. And though we don't work so much in the technology sector, the same type of fun and creative strategy applies. And we've just been real blessed with the type of clients that we have and the work that we're able to produce every day.
Awesome. Thank you. That's great. So what led you to be an entrepreneur? Obviously, you kind of had it in your blood. It sounds like you connected with it as well.
Yeah. Well, I didn't set out to do this. When I took a role at my parents' agency in 2008 and settled in, moved my family a couple counties away so that we could be closer to the company and closer to my parents, and having the expectation to, you know, move into their offices once they moved out.
Okay.
But it didn't happen that way. The company ended up taking a downturn. My parents decided to shutter, and I floundered around for a couple of years in some different roles and tried new things, and learned a lot that I wouldn't have learned otherwise.
Mm.
But frankly, it was a termination of role that led to the seat that I'm in. So I lost a position, felt really bad about it, and then decided, well, I'm not going to do that again. So got the courage and the grit to go out and give this a go, and that's where we've been.
Well, good for you. It's it takes a lot of kind of reflection and self-awareness to pick yourself up after something like that. But it can also be a really good teacher, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
shows you what you do connect with and what is meaningful for you and what works, right? So
Well, and it helped me kind of grow a thicker skin. I was tended to have been a more sensitive person before, and really looked to others to, give me self-worth in what I was doing, and get their approvals and their blessing, and always had a very probably not a very healthy way in which I approached work from that perspective.
mm,
And of course, there was pros and cons with working with a high dynamic mother. And I think that I really needed to go through some of that being in the fire, a couple times with some really difficult positions, to strengthen me up a little bit and get me ready.
yeah, failure is a good teacher,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
good for you. Well, seems like you're in the right place. So Shauna, how do you define success?
Mm. Well, that answer has changed over the years. As I alluded to a minute ago, I would have defined that differently 7 or 8 years ago by the quantity of clients and the accolades and the awards and the pats on the back and the really positive reviews and promotions and whatnot. And all those things are very good indicators that things are on a positive track. Um, but that's not really success now to me. And I don't know if it's the growing up period, if it's getting a little older, wiser. But success feels more comfortable in my own skin now, and I can weather storms better than I used to be able to. And I think that success to me looks like coming out of the other end of a storm and
Mm,
saying, "Man, I've learned something, and I got through that, and I wasn't as scared as I was a couple of years ago." And we've had our share of storms here at the company. We've had dark clouds on the horizon, and we've had some fears and scares on client renewals and client acquisitions. And at the end of it, we place, and we're a faith-based organization, which is also a little different from a marketing perspective. And we know that all the good and right things are coming right when they're supposed to come. And so success to us looks like, leaning out on faith every day, and not being in a position of fear or worry.
awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I appreciate your openness and, honesty about the things that we all go through and aren't always comfortable sharing about. But I love your perspective on success. So thank you. So as I mentioned earlier, we know each other through the Women's Growth Collab. How would you say that the Women's Growth Collab has supported you in your business and moving forward towards your goals?
I have really loved having a very small group of, like-minded women entrepreneurs who go through some of the same strifes. And, some of us will have high sailing seasons, and then others are, they're watching the storm clouds come, and so you have a group where when you're in one of those seasons, someone else has either just been through one or or they're they're in a happier time, if you will. So I think it's been really nice to be able to really have very open dialogues and frank conversations with other women. I just actually was talking to one over the weekend who, she says, "I'm nervous about what's going on with the company." And so, I said, "Here's some things that we did 2 or 3 months ago when I was nervous. This is how I approached this problem." And I said, "Let's get on the phone and let's brainstorm." And so you have someone who is not trying to, win your business, and it's not about, closing new business. It's really all about how can I, best support another woman who is on this same road. And so some of the wisdom and the sharing and some of the problem solving that we've been able to do as a small group has helped me, see a different perspective where, it can be very lonely sitting in these seats by yourself. And when you have a group of confidants to share some of those struggles with, you're able to maybe see a different, perspective, see the issue through a different lens, and come about a problem, and maybe have some different solutions.
Yes, that's so true. And I so appreciate hearing how you guys offline, are getting together
Yeah,
because you develop these relationships and you care about each other, right? So it's
right.
not just about what happens in our Zoom room, it's about, caring about each other and being available when somebody needs you. So that's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Um, so Shauna, tell me about some women business leaders that you admire and
Mhm.
why.
Well, it's interesting. I think that one of our more recent clients that we've had for a couple of years is owned by a woman who was very much a trailblazer in her industry of ESG consulting. And she started her business when no one even knew what environmental social governance meant, let alone that there would be any kind of industry for it where commercial real estate is concerned. And so I have learned so much from her journey, and where she has started her company and how she has grown her company and recently sold her company, um, to really solving a problem that some of these clients didn't really understand that they even had. And so it's been very eye-opening to watch as they've gone about doing that, because they have been able to identify real change agents in commercial real estate who have the power to facilitate change and model that for um, not only their competitors, but all the other businesses who watch them because they have such clout and such prestige. What they do and how they embrace change trickles down to several other industries. And it really started with her vision and the collective vision of other women that she worked with 15 years ago. And so it's very inspiring to be a part of their legacy. I work with two or three in that space, thanks to her. And you see all of the good that's coming from the changes that they have helped usher in for some of these larger commercial real estate organizations. So it's been very inspiring, and watching her grow her business, and how her competitors have all banded together. Though they're competitors, they knew that the power was with their collective tribe, and that they could really do and make big changes and strides in ESG if they had those solid goals.
Yeah, that's a great story. I love the trailblazing kind of opportunity, and the courage it takes to go out
Yes.
and do something like that. But it sounds like she really believed in it. And then I also love the idea about people who are technically competitors, but see the bigger picture, right? And the bigger vision, and they work together and move
Right.
forward. So that's
Right. And I don't think that I mean, they consider themselves competitors, but they, would call each other and say, I'm trying to solve a problem. I'm trying to give guidance. I'm trying to, figure out how to consult in this space. And they really did, band together because it was such a larger goal, and a larger endeavor than just their businesses thriving and growing, which is a great goal to have, obviously. But to them, this is a goal of planet Earth, and
right.
so it's worth everyone coming together and having a consensus to helping move those initiatives forward.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing. I can see why you're inspired by that. It is inspiring. Thank you. And finally, would you share kind of the goals that you have for your business over the next 3 to 5 years, where you want to take it?
Yes, well, I would not have imagined us being where we are today 3 years ago. And so, the past 3 years has been uh, interesting for all of us. No one could have,
Right.
predicted some of the economic and the cultural climates that we all find ourselves in, and
Exactly.
challenges we've all had to endure because of those things. And, I think I want to get to a place with the company is really doing positive change. I don't like to just be pushing marketing around. I like to use um, the voice and the reach that we have to do good, and to be a positive influence. There's a lot of things about marketing and advertising that we won't do, that we don't subscribe to, we don't believe in, we don't think that they're moral or ethical. And we will turn business away if that's what clients say that they want to do. We want to be, we want to be different, and we want to, if it means having fewer clients but better clients, I would be proud of that. So a dollar figure or a head count, or a corner office somewhere in a shining city isn't particularly goals. If that's where we end up, then those will be blessings. But what's more important to me is that we're able to use our institutional knowledge we have here, and help other companies see their goals, help them achieve their growth, and to do it in a way that is healthy and beneficial, that it does have a good um, perspective to it, that and that's not to say we're only going to work with nonprofits or only ESG or only these, high ideals. I think there's so many companies that just want to do good work, and they want to be excellent in all that they do, and they have core values of you know, empowering and bettering their employees and the communities around them. And those are the ones that we really want to come alongside and help them with their sales and their marketing efforts.
Yeah, great. Well, I can see that it's important, or I can hear that it's important to you to make an impact and to help your clients make an impact.
Yes.
And so I can tell you're on the right track. I'm excited for you. It feels like there's a lot of opportunity ahead. And I know you're a great leader. And so I can't wait to see where you go.
Well, thank you, Honor. It has been just very fortuitous that the Women's Collab uh, has found me and that I found them when they did, and it has really been very instrumental in helping me be more effective in my thought process and in my leadership and really helping solve problems and find creative solutions for other women that are in the group. So it's been really a very fantastic experience to be here.
Awesome. Well, we love having you. So thank you for being a part of it. And thank you for sharing today.
Great, good. Thank you so much, Honor.
Hold on one second. I want to stop recording if I can figure out. There we go. Okay.